Hello, everybody. This is John Paval with Access Arts Live with your Friday live stream action roundup for November 21st, 2025. We have a great lineup of just an action-packed lineup of live streams for you today, which I can't wait to tell you about. I won't even be able to tell you about all of them because some of them I'll just have to get to later. But let's get down to what we do have for you this week. We've got Russian music in Moscow. That's no surprise. American spirituals in Madrid. Ballet in Vienna. New and now music in New York City. We have everything this week. Before I go any further, let me remind you, this is a perfect time for you to follow and or subscribe to Access Arts Live, wherever you happen to view us. We are on YouTube, Facebook, X, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, and LinkedIn, because we want to be wherever you are to make it as easy as possible for you to just click and go. Having said that, now let's get to today's lineup. So as I get my notes in front of me, I don't have this all memorized. Okay, the day starts with Ivan Nikiforchin. He's a rising star conductor in Moscow, leading the orchestra, which he founded a few years ago, the Academy of Russian Music Orchestra. They'll be playing Glinka's overture to the opera Ruslan and Lyudmila, Tchaikovsky's violin concerto, and the suite from the ballet Swan Lake. That'll be relatively early at 5 in the evening European time, 11 in the morning on the East Coast, 8 o'clock on the West Coast, because it's at 7 in the evening in Moscow, which is 2 hours ahead of Europe already. Then a little later in the day or evening, if symphonic music is your thing, Davide Burleigh leads the Frankfurt Radio Symphony in Anna Torvald's daughter's Arcora, Shostakovich's Cello Concerto No. 1, Richard Wagner's Prelude to Tristan and Isolde, and Sibelius's Symphony No. 7. Why do you have both a Wagner Prelude and a symphony in the same half of a concert? Because the Sibelius Symphony No. 7 is only 20 minutes long, so they had to add more to that. It's cellist Julian Steckel who's joining her for the Shostakovich Cello Concerto, and he's the guy who says, well, I could play Shostakovich at 3 a.m. in the morning. So I think he means by that he can play it any time. And Davide Burleigh is a cellist herself originally, so I think they're going to know what they're doing with this music. And that'll be at 8 o'clock in the evening European time, 2 o'clock on the East Coast, 11 in the morning on the West Coast. Now, there are 3 chamber music or contemporary music concerts today as well. At 6 o'clock in the evening, noon on the East Coast, 9 in the morning on the West Coast. March Vivo in Madrid is live streaming that global traveling American countertenor Reginald Mobley. He's singing American spirituals with French accompanist Baptiste Trotignon. There'll be some music by Florence Price and by H.T. Burleigh, but also spirituals coming out of the African-American tradition, the slavery tradition, and the Jim Crow South tradition in the 19th century. This is based on, he did his first solo CD, came out in 2023. It was called Because, and it contained a lot of this music in it. And he did concerts with Baptiste Trotignon at the Aix-en-Provence, the Big Opera Festival, and then at the BBC Proms. But this guy goes everywhere. And he's really interesting because he does a lot of singing with early music and Baroque ensembles. He toured Australia with the Bach Academy in this past spring, and also sang in Bach's St. John's Passion in Paris as part of the Saint Denis Festival in June. So, good guy to discover if you don't know him already. Then 7 hours later, Composer's Concordance live stream something completely different, a concert of what I call Now Music, the art of the trio. This will be music composed by bassist Mopa Elliott, saxophonist Gottfried Stöger, and the inimitable Gene Pritzker himself, the head guy at Composer's Concordance, and they'll be playing the music themselves. And Pritzker believes in and practices a constant stream of live streams of now music, today's music, which crosses the boundaries between genres. So if that kind of thing appeals to you, this is for you. That'll be at 7 o'clock on the East Coast, 4 o'clock on the West Coast, 1 o'clock in the morning here in Europe. Then a half an hour later, 92NY is live streaming also contemporary music, but a little less wild or on the edge of now than Pritzker does. They'll be live streaming Curtis on Tour, the Curtis New Music Ensemble, and that's students from Curtis, and they will be playing a variety of contemporary compositions. For example, Carlos Simon's Giants for Woodwind Quintet. That's an homage to 5 African-American icons, including Maya Angelou and Herbie Hancock. They'll be playing a couple of pieces by Valerie Coleman's Freedmen of the 5 Civilized Tribes. That's for flute, clarinet, violin, cello, and piano, and it honors the legacy of Native Americans and former African slaves who were involved in the Trail of Tears when they were all moved from the eastern United States out to the west. Then one more smaller scale production for you is at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, San Diego time, 4 o'clock on the East Coast, 10 o'clock in the evening. Canon Martin Green is going to be playing the last in the series of organ recitals at St. Paul's Episcopal Cathedral in San Diego. This one will be based on audience suggestions, which were emailed into him in advance. Also, I want to tell you that also today at 7:30 in the evening European time, the Vienna State Opera Ballet is going to be live streaming Roland Petit's classic Die Fledermaus. And that's featuring dancers Olga, Esina, Timoor, Afshar, Davide, Dato, and Lucas Schmidt. I don't have time to give you more details about that in this format, but I'll give you more later today. This afternoon, I will do a special edition on that. And later today, I will, if all goes well, I will have as a guest on my 6 o'clock live stream, noon here in Europe, noon on the East Coast, 9 in the morning on the West Coast, Hugh Mather of the almost legendary St. Mary's Perryvale musical recital live streams that have been going on for years now. He does 2 or 3 a week. It's always high quality. And St. Mary's Perryvale tomorrow is going to be live streaming the finals of the Liszt Society International Piano Competition. So I'm very happy that Hugh has agreed to come on if we can get the technicality of it all done. He's in London, I'm in Stockholm, and he'll be talking to you. You can learn about St. Mary's Perryvale live streaming series and about the Liszt International Piano Competition, all in one fell swoop. That's all I have time for today, folks. I got to get going, but I will be back this afternoon with a special edition about the Fledermaus with the Vienna State Opera Ballet. And then I'll be back at 6 in the evening, European time, noon on the East Coast, 9 in the morning on the West Coast with you.